Before a chosen one can carry light, they must survive the fire that reveals it. Every empath meets a season where love feels like betrayal and loyalty feels like weakness, and silence feels like suffocation. But that season isn't punishment, it's refinement. Heaven tests capacity through heartbreak. It's the furnace where empathy becomes discernment and compassion learns boundaries. Refinement doesn't start in comfort, it begins in collision. You gave your best to people who took it for control. You defended others who later doubted you. You tried to help, but your help was used against you. And each time you thought, what's wrong with me? The truth, nothing was wrong. You were in spiritual training. Empaths are refined not by theory, but by experience. They have to feel betrayal to recognize falsehood. They have to taste rejection to understand alignment. That's how heaven matures emotional intelligence into spiritual authority. You can read all the self help books you want, but you can't skip the furnace. The fire strips off illusions of people, of systems, and of self. It removes what was attached to your ego so your spirit can breathe again. And when the empath finally breaks, it's not destruction, it's data being reorganized. You start seeing patterns, how users find givers, how narcissists study healers, how liars recruit listeners. You stop personalizing the attacks and start studying them. Pain turns into pattern recognition, and that's when discernment is born. Psychologically, this is called post traumatic growth. Spiritually, it's prophetic evolution. Every empath who learns instead of resenting becomes a weapon heaven can trust. When God refines you, He removes the need for approval. He lets the people you saved walk away so you'll stop worshiping their validation. He closes the doors you beg to keep open so you'll learn that protection sometimes sounds like rejection. The empath who survives that lesson becomes untouchable, not because they're cold, but because they're clear. You begin to see betrayal as revelation. You no longer collapse, you recalibrate. The emotional storms that once drowned you now serve as navigation tools. You can feel deceit before it speaks. You can sense warfare before it strikes. That's not paranoia, that's precision. In behavioral psychology, resilience is built through adaptation. After repeated emotional wounds, the brain learns to separate stimulus from identity. You realize their actions are about their wounds, not my worth. That's emotional sovereignty, the highest form of self regulation. Spiritually, it means your empathy is no longer reactive, it's responsive. You don't absorb any longer, you assess first. You don't chase closure, you observe cycles. That's the mark of a chosen empath. Fire didn't come to destroy you, it came to distinguish you. You're no longer available for manipulation because you've mastered exposure. You recognize spiritual warfare not by what it says, but by how it feels. That's graduate level discernment. You love from wisdom, not wounds. You help without bleeding. You protect without pretending. You move through the same world, but you walk as evidence that pain can evolve into power. So if you're in the heat right now, if people are lying, if love feels one sided, if life feels unfair, don't retreat, refine. Every flame touching you is revealing what can't be burned. Every betrayal is clarifying what deserves you next. You're not losing your sight, you're purifying it. Thank you for visiting my channel. Stay covered, stay conscious, stay undefeated. See you on the next one.